Welcome to an inspiring episode of our podcast, Reinventing the Retirement Lifestyle for Legacy, where we will dive into the journey and experiences of a remarkable business leader. I'm your host, Maria Pontis, with 4 decades of corporate journey, life coach, and an author. As today, we have the privilege of hosting none other than Preeti Sharma, trailblazer in the world of entrepreneurship. Get ready to gain insights that empower and uplift as we explore her journey, wisdom, and impact. Well, introducing Preeti Sharma to you, a leading force in the IT training industry. As a visionary leader of Pragati Software, she has shaped the careers of countless IT professionals in India. With an impressive customer base of 350 corporates and over 3 lakh participants trained, Preeti's expertise span 150 technologies. Recipient of the prestigious Outstanding Women Entrepreneurs 2007 award, Preeti's influence extends beyond borders. Her passion for entrepreneurship and women empowerment has made her a sought after speaker in both national and international events. With a solid foundation in marketing and global executive MBA from IESE Barcelona, she brings forth a wealth of knowledge in sales, marketing, strategic management, and cost control. Preeti's remarkable journey reflects her commitment to fostering a culture of entrepreneurship in India. Dedicated, adaptable, armed with exceptional leadership and problem-solving skills, Preeti Sharma continues to inspire and mentor future generation, leaving a lasting mark on the world of business. So, welcome, dear Preeti, to our talk show today as we discuss our journey together with you.
Thank you, Maria, for this wonderful introduction. And I'm so glad to reconnect and be with you on this journey. Our association goes for more than 3 decades. We've known each other. She's
Yes,
seen me grow. I've seen her grow. So the feeling is totally mutual for me too.
absolutely. And I didn't expect to be having you here on the show, but I feel blessed that you are here today.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much.
so a first question that comes to my mind is, what are some of the key milestones and achievements you've reached during your career business that you're particularly proud of?
So I think when I started my journey, it did not start with entrepreneurship. I did my BCom and I did an MBA in marketing from Bombay University. You know, those years parents would not send
Yeah.
the daughters outside the city to study. So whatever was available in Mumbai, that's what I took. And my first job was with NoCell. And I have a situation where my father is a businessman, was a businessman, and my mother's a teacher. So I kind of knew both the paths, you know, the path of working under somebody and the path of being on my own. And those years I was like, no, it's good to work under somebody, you know. So I joined NoCell. But, you know, this thing was there in the mind that, okay, there's this alternate path there. And I chose to go for a job. And then I worked in NoCell for 5 years, and somehow I was feeling, no, this doesn't seem to, you know, give me completion in terms of what I'm looking for, you know. And so
Hmm.
I said, no, let me then be the master of my own ship.
Yeah.
And and you know, those years, Maria, what were salaries? 3,500, 4,000 rupees was the salaries we got. It was so easy to, you know, just say, okay, this can be earned again. It might be much more difficult now when the salaries are so high for people to actually go on the entrepreneur journey. And so I decided, okay, let me do this. But that's a very interesting story. So when I was working at NoCell, which is a
Ah,
Mafatlal shell company, and
yes.
I was heading their sales and marketing for a product called as Teapot. You know, a liquid
Ah,
cleaner. Those people who
yes.
you remember, blue colored bottle.
Yes.
And I was also looking for openings, and I got this job at Johnson and Johnson in their sanitary napkins division, because being a woman, MBA, etc., it kind of fitted. And I was
Mhm.
also very excited to join them. And I said, okay, I'll go ahead and join. And my husband, Pradyum, is from an IT background. And mind you, I have no IT experience. So it's all consumer products. I'm a BCom, so no question of technology or sciences or mathematics or whatever till then, except the what you do in MBA, which is not that much intense, no. So when Pradyum had started his company Pragati as a proprietorship, and he was working on it and whatever, and there was like I'm supposed to join, say J&J after 3 days, Johnson
Okay.
and Johnson, supposed to join after 3 days, and I have all these questions in my mind: should I join? Should I do a business? And finally, everybody decided, no, no, actually, I should join, and I'm all set to join. And 3 days ago, there is this order which comes for word star training. Remember,
Ah,
word star used to be
yes.
a
Yes.
word processing software at
Initially.
that time. Yeah, absolutely. And there is nobody to do it because Pradyum is busy and we didn't have any concept of trainers that time. Everything would be done by Pradyum himself. And so he said, I can't change the date. So why don't you do it? Then I said, me? So, no, it's not so difficult. I said, okay, it's word star. Okay, I'll manage. So I remember Pradyum actually trained me, and then we recorded it on the tape recorder, Purana tape
Ah,
recorder with a
yes,
cassette.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all night I heard that recording,
Mm.
and I kept on listening. Okay, here even the jokes what he cracked, I repeated those. And I went and did the program. Okay. And I remember the company, it was Mafco Limited. And
Ah,
I did the program in such wonderful feedback. And at the end of the day, people were so happy because, those were initial years of computerization. People were so scared of even touching a machine.
I
It will like burst or, to get spoiled or whatever. And they were so happy. And then I'm like, is this not more energizing for me
yeah.
than,
Yeah.
something else? And I remember I called out the HR person at J&J and got to hear a mouthful from that person because obviously I was
Yes.
putting them in a spot. But then I had the courage to tell them it was not at all planned. It was something which is very spontaneous, and I totally apologize. And like I sent them an apology note, and fine, they also moved, and we also moved, and everything worked out well. So I'm just saying that this entrepreneurial journey
Yes.
sometimes is a very snap decision, and all the planning you do, that is fine. But sometimes it's like your heart which says, no, this is what I want to do. And there again, training industry, why does it appeal to me? It's also because of the fact that my mother is a teacher, so
Ah,
I've always seen that, how the students have been appreciative, how their lives have been shaped, how their destinies have actually changed because they got a good teacher,
yes.
or how their destinies kind of took a different path if the teacher was not good. So
Yeah.
I always felt that the teacher or the guru is
With
the
the,
most important thing. And also, my father-in-law is a PhD in Sanskrit and a head of department at Rajasthan University that time. So it
ah,
was like, teaching was in the family, and it felt very natural to go ahead and just teach. So for me, that was a milestone. How did I start the journey? On what
mm,
basis? The basis was really not money, Maria. I
right.
was in a good job. It was more about, do I add value to people? What was the satisfaction on their faces when they learned something
Yes.
which they had thought was so difficult? They had thought, my God, this is not something we can do. And you remember those years, there was so much resistance against
Yes.
computerization.
Yes.
So it was like changing their mindset and saying, yes, it is different, but can we just see it? It's not so mushkil, it's doable.
Yeah,
So
true.
so for me, that was the very big milestone, I think. The other point was, which I might use this forum to discuss, is that when you are with a business partner
Yes.
and you're also at home with the same partner, then how do you balance that? So
Right.
a lot of people don't do business with their partners, saying home will get, influenced, or, there will be fights, and how will we handle this balance? And for us, it worked out beautifully.
Hmm.
This whole thing about being a business partner, and a life partner. How do we balance that was something which like I remember we had such long talks with each other saying that what if there is a conflict, how will we
Yeah.
handle it?
Yeah.
So to my mind, that the starting point was a big milestone. Over the years, Maria, we've completed 32 years in the business.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so
Way.
much.
That's a
Thank
long journey.
So for 32 years, we have been giving training to lakhs of people, and we have changed so many people's lives. And day in and day out, see, being an entrepreneur, you don't have a Sunday. You are working every single day.
Absolutely. Yes.
Imagine 365 multiplied by 32, multiplied by two directors, and your whole household is in the business. You're
Yes.
like fully into it. So for me, that's a great achievement. And over these 32 years, there have been times where we have not done well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, for example, I remember clearly 2000 when there was the issue which was there in the industry
Yes.
one
Slowdown was there. Slowdown.
was there, and so many things. When Lehman Brothers crashed,
Yes.
Lehman was a customer to us. We also lost money
Oh,
because we didn't get the money back.
back.
And then there were times when we didn't do financially well. So in 32 years, it is not like every year we were profitable. No, I think I remember the initial years, our turnover used to be something like 8 lakhs or something, and the loan on our head was 20 lakhs. And
Oh,
I would wonder, like, how are we going to do this now?
actually,
So,
yeah.
so that whole journey of being resilient, of persisting over the good days and the bad days. The latest was the lockdown. Like in the
Yes.
lockdown, we
Oh,
had
God.
classrooms. Pragati Software was always known for the classrooms.
Yes.
We have the wonderful classrooms. There were 13 classrooms. We had just renovated all of them. 2017, 18, 19, we had renovated all of them. And 2020, this happens. And we then do a 180-degree turn and we say, okay, we don't expect classroom training now to remain as important as it was before. And the entire training centers, we rechecked them. And I
Hmm.
tell you, Maria, every single day I went to office in the lockdown and
My.
I rechecked them and gave them back on long leases because they were all owned properties.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of milestones. How do you react when something you have not planned for hits you? That I think is the real power, and those are the milestones which,
So,
for
I
me,
mean,
make this.
achievements haven't been that easy for you. There's been a lot of learning along the way. And that's a very important point for us to note because we look at achieving things very quickly in today's world rather than, waiting and seeing how we can walk through the journey. The journey is also very important because there are lots of learnings in that. So my next question to you is, as you approach a certain age in life, how do you envision your role involving your business? So can you discuss importance of planning for a smooth transition in business, especially when reducing the role from operations? So what is it that you can talk about
Yeah.
from your
Maria,
experience?
thanks for this question. It's a very, very valid question. Age is something many people say is just a number,
Yeah.
but it's a reality that one is, getting older
Older.
every year, yeah, and every minute. So, and I would be one who would be sensible to keep that reality in mind,
Yes.
and to know, okay, that things are going to change, and one is not going to remain the same person as the time goes. So already in the Pragati's framework, much of the operations are anyway looked after by the senior leadership there,
Oh,
apart from Pradyum and me. So that's the first point. Actually, I have two businesses. So there is a Pragati Software and there is another company, Letterprint.
okay.
And in Letterprint, literally the entire business is handled by the management there only. I only spend 2 hours in a week.
Okay.
That is only to sign bills. That's it. That's it. I mean, just the financial part, because that becomes more difficult for the team to understand, GST implication, TDS implication. That is not something skills which they have, whereas we have a huge amount of experience in finance, so we know it. So I have always wanted to develop leadership. You mentioned it before, like developing leadership is not a 1 minute thing. Start slowly, slowly, slowly.
Yes.
So we have always been giving responsibility. We have always delegated. We have always told our team that they have to handle it. That's for sure. That's one thing there. Taking things forward, I think the responsibilities will keep on getting downloaded to them as and when we feel. And we are also looking at growing both the businesses. So now, when we are going to grow the businesses, we are also looking at fresh blood. So we would
Yes.
also look at, we would also look at other people who can be able to add value to the journey and therefore make them more and more responsible so that we can be just kind of mentors to both the businesses.
Awesome. Very
So
nice.
that is the thought process.
From a perspective of work-life balance, what strategies have you found effective for maintaining your well-being while still actively participating in your business?
Okay.
Because this is where a lot of us, struggle with.
So I think being a woman, I must say that we always have to handle the house also.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, we have very supportive partners. So that makes it very easy. The responsibility is still kind of, at least in our generation, Maria, it happened to be with us. The younger generation is, I think, more smarter. They're like, make a list and divide the work and things like that. For us, I have always thought that the best work balance strategy is to not do everything. Okay. Now I say not do everything means I'll give an example.
Sure.
When my daughter had to buy uniform every year, no, we used to buy her uniform every year, third standard, fourth standard. If you remember, the schools used to have a prescribed vendor you would go and buy the uniform from.
Yes.
So I would never go to buy the uniform. I would just send my admin executive with the number. This number has to be bought because anyway, my going, touching that uniform is not going to change the quality. So I decided to divide my own personal work into two categories. One is where I really don't make any difference.
Yes.
So I remember the Bata number, shoe number 4 would be bought by them only. Because even if I go to the shop, the shoe color, size, same is going to remain same. School is told the same. So I always divided where I could add value and what could be delegated. So I've always had my company's admin always supporting me in handling responsibilities at home. That's for one thing which I always did as an entrepreneur. So I always had one or two people extra whose job description was itself to keep me free from responsibilities at home.
You could focus on other important.
Yes. Not only that, I always had elder parents with me. For example, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my mother, at some point, my father also. So, handling so many elder people was always my responsibility. And I happily took it because I had developed this network of support system. You see, had I didn't have it, I probably wouldn't have been able to balance it so easily. So my suggestion is always to seek help.
Yes, yes.
Like don't worry and think, oh my God, what will somebody think and how will somebody judge me? I mean, that's all their situation. For me, it was like I always took help. Secondly, I always sat down and wrote what was important to me. Okay, so for me, what was most important at any point of time was the family. For me, always it was that my parents and my in-laws, my daughter should have comfort. My daughter should develop the right value system. I was always on that. So I always thought that family ka well-being is the most important thing. The other thing which I gave a lot of importance to is my own health. So I'm very particular about trying to do some exercise every day, trying to go and attend some yoga session somewhere, trying to go and do some Reiki somewhere, trying to give a lot of importance to my own health, because if
True.
I am healthy, two things will happen. One is I'll be able to take care of others. Secondly, others don't have to take care of me.
Right.
So for me, health was a very, very important thing. Third thing, Maria, was wealth. I give a lot of importance to being wealthy.
Yes.
And being wealthy means it is like, can I instead give somebody something rather than take from them? So, can I be wealthy enough where I can
Give.
contribute to somebody? I don't have to be so stressed about, oh my God, when is the next dollar coming from? A lot of people are in such a situation where they're always worried now. How will the house survive? How will they? So for me, spending couple of hours every Sunday on my wealth is a very, very important lesson for me. I've always uh, handled the finances of my company, of my house myself. I've never dependent on the husband or the brother or any of the male figures. No, I've always looked after my own money. I've always looked after the household money. So wealth, to my mind, is very important in
Great.
terms of work-life balance. The other thing is very important is somehow I've always tried to, Maria, simplify life.
Yes. Oh, so much
Yeah,
required.
yeah. So if I can work with less shoes, less clothes, less pieces of jewelry, uh, everything which is less, uh, uh, I'm ready to give, because the more you have, the more you have to manage it.
Yeah.
So I've always tried to keep it in such a way that I can balance that. And couple of things which I also would say is I also work on the spiritual path. So a lot
Mm.
of time goes in sometimes prayer, sometimes meditation, sometimes contemplation, and I also learn music. So I've always been on that journey also.
Great.
So I'm a musician also. So this is
Oh,
how I manage everything.
okay. I want to ask you something since you are the head of your organization. How do you encourage your employees to take leadership roles and contribute to the success of the company and thereby they become successful?
Yeah. I think
Thoughts
very,
on
very good question. Very good question. I mentor my people a lot. I spend a lot of time with. I guide them on every decision.
that?
So I just don't leave it to them in the beginning. I continuously keep on guiding them, and I take decisions every day. So, for example, whether it's a Sunday or a Monday or anything, every day I continuously take business decisions. So, what also happens is that because then nothing is lying pending with me, my team gets a lot of clarity immediately.
Hmm.
So they don't have to wait, Aryavi Preeti will reply, then I will do it. So I continuously have told them that I appreciate leadership. I always tell them, don't worry if you make a mistake.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Doing nothing is not done. Doing everything and falling is okay with me.
Yes. Beautiful.
I encourage them to take decisions. Many times they still don't do it, Maria, because I think the Indian mindset is like people are always scared, okay, oh, if I make a mistake. And I'm like, it's okay if you make a mistake, because unless you try, how will you know na?
Right.
Whether you know it or you don't know it. So I encourage them to keep on doing things, to try things. I am not insecure about developing people. I'm secure about developing them. If they continue with me, very good. If they don't continue with Pragati, also very good. All the people we meet in journey of life always
Yeah.
thank us. We learned from you, Preeti ma'am. We really learned. So I
Absolutely.
don't have any insecurity. I'm very secure. What is mine will remain with me. What is due to me will remain with me. So I think that is very important.
Thank you on that. That's a very, very important point that you've shared. So, regarding the future plans, what are some of the goals and aspirations you have for your businesses in the coming years? And how do these align with your personal journey?
Okay, so the goals in the business are basically to grow the business, because as we are a well-known IT training company. There is a lot of goodwill in the market. All the people who have interacted with us, used our services, have always good things to say. You have been in NIT, so you surely know
Yeah,
what I'm saying. We
absolutely.
have been competitors at some point of time. I mean, our organizations, not we.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of goodwill in the market for Pragati, and that's the result of all the hard work which all of us have done. That is Pradyum, me, and each and every employee in the Pragati, and the customers who trusted us, vendors, partners, trainers, everybody. So everybody is. So the whole goal is to develop the business in such a way so that we are able to handle only the strategic part, and
mm,
all the operations is then handled by the team. So the growth is planned there. On the personal goals, I think health continues to remain the
yeah,
topmost personal goal. So, for example, I start my day by one health activity. Sometimes I do aqua fitness. I go all the way from where I stay to Prabha Devi to attend an aqua fitness class, which is exercising inside a pool. So, so at least one health activity per day. It could be aqua fitness, it could be yoga, it could be a walk on the Juhu beach or whatever. So I give a lot of importance to that, and I will continue to do that.
yeah,
Uh, for me, that is important. Then on the spiritual front, like the prayer and the music continues parallelly. So I spend my evenings normally after 7 o'clock devoted to my music class or my music practice, which I do every day. So my day starts with exercising. Whole day I do all this business work, and evenings I after 7:30 I have my music class. So that I do at home. So I mean, as I said, I take decisions every day, so nothing gets blocked because there is no question of not working in the weekend. Na?
yeah.
If there's something to be done, I will do it. So for me, that is how I plan to continue my journey, and just be there for my mother-in-law, my mother, and just be around and see whatever
Yeah.
life comes. Covid has taught us we have to be
Yes,
ready for
yes.
everything.
And I can truly see, I mean, you're so inspiring to me that you have a business, you have your personal life, everything like, well planned with you, and you follow that because that's something all of us, a lot of us struggle.
I think here the time management and
It's very
self-management is
important.
very important. Yeah.
Right, right. Now, in terms of, a legacy, could you discuss the role of women in leadership position and the positive impact they can bring on businesses and society, even after their professional career ends?
Okay. Wow, you asked a very good question. So let me just share a situation, or let me just share how women were viewed when we started the business. And I'm sure you might have had
Yes,
similar
that will help
experiences.
our viewers as well. Thank you.
So when I started the business, the first impression my employees, vendors, partners, bankers, all of them had was she is a woman. We don't know how long she's going to survive. Maybe
True.
she's just coming like, kuch aur kaam nahi hai. So, time pass ke liye she's coming. Main person is the husband. Because in my case, it was a husband-wife leadership team.
Yes.
So even my employee would not treat me very seriously, thinking that, we don't know whether she'll come. And then it is by my own grit. So when I was pregnant also, I worked till the last day. I'm signing vouchers till the last day. Yeah. Tomorrow is my surgery for is a cesarean section. I'm signing till the last night, and then I joined back, and there was no work from home that time. So
Yeah.
my concept of work from home was the admin boy would come and I would sign. I was always work from home even then. Work from home is now like something official, but for me,
Yes.
I was always ready to, do something at home and complete it and finish it off. So over a period of time, over a lot of things which happened in life with me also, I was able to always remain, resilient. I think the good thing about being a woman is the ability to be a multitasker,
Yes.
ability to do all that. I think women generally are very hardworking, because
Hmm.
if they're not hardworking, they'll not be able to manage this whole
Yes.
thing.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I think that ability to really work hard, work longer hours, because often we go home and we are also
Again,
working.
working. Yes.
So actually, your almost ending up working for 15 hours
Yes.
from your morning. Whatever time you get rest is only the time when you sleep or you're doing some exercise or something. Otherwise, you're always working. No?
Yes.
So for me, I think women bring on the table skills like multitasking, skills like being extremely hardworking,
Yes.
and also skills like cost cutting. For example, if you see in my profile, I have always been very particular about
Cost.
uh, yeah, cost. Not that I'm a miser, no, not that I'm going to do any chindigiri, as they say,
Be
but it's
judicious.
about being thoughtful. It's
Yeah.
like, do I need this? Do I need this extra diamond to be bought? Do I need a
Mm.
Mercedes car, for example? I probably don't need it. It's not like I need it for a status symbol. Na? For me, my Maruti will also do. So I've always kept the frugality in the business. The concept of being frugal and thoughtful while spending. And that I think has really helped. So being women, these are some of the skills we get. Skills of being compassionate. I think we are always
Yes.
compassionate. So I think those kind of skills
Caring.
they are invaluable, which women get on the table.
I have one last request, and I normally don't, but I'm very excited to ask because I heard it in while you were talking about it. You said you sing. If you could just share it with the audience, and I'm sure they'll be very happy. They'll love you for it.
So I sing something called as Gurmat Sangeet, and I'll spend a minute explaining.
Sure.
So basically, I'm a Sikh by birth, and Gurmat Sangeet is something the Guru Granth Sahib, which is the Guru which all the Sikhs in the world believe in. We bow our head to the Granth, and the Granth Sahib is a huge collection of verses, okay, prayers, shlokas, whatever you call it. And
Yeah.
the shlokas the verses are written in a rag format.
Oh.
Okay, and 31 Hindustani rags
Huh.
are there in the Guru Granth Sahib. I think very few people know that. Okay, and in the Dasam Granth, which is the other book, holy book, which is written by Guru Gobind Singh, that is more than 200 rags. So Hindustani classical is a very much part of our legacy in our
Yes.
religion, and I learned that because I feel that even we tend to get influenced by the Bollywood music. No?
Mm.
So we want to maintain this traditional form also so that it remains. This legacy also remains. So I'll just sing a piece
Yes.
Yes. In Rag Kalyan, which is a shlok. Gure Nama Shri Gurudev Nama Aako Satnam Shri That was it.
Thank you so much. It was lovely listening to your voice. And with this, I would like to say a very, very big thank you, Preeti, for joining us today. And I hope we will meet you again sometimes where we will spend more time with you to learn much more in detail, all the wisdom that you still can share with us. And there you have it, audience, a profound conversation with Preeti Sharma, reminding us that business is more than just profits. It's about empowering employees, embracing our transition, and leaving a meaningful legacy. So thank you, friends, for sharing.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come. And I must just spend just a second to say what a lovely work you're doing. I mean, you're also in your own way changing lives and making people think about retirement and think about saving. I think kudos to you for this wonderful initiative
Thank
and
you.
all the very best. And I'm so happy to chip in whenever you want me.
Sure, anytime. And friends, as we wrap up this episode, remember that each milestone, each lesson learned contributes to the legacy we build. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Keep aspiring, keep achieving, and keep listening to our podcast every week. Thank you.
Thank you.